only in the Western world can we actually have the balls to say it is not a man's world. Africa, Asia, Latin America, and I think even in the USA, maybe only Europe a little bit where it's not really like that. Every single else, it is a man's world. The only difference is a man's weakness is a woman. So in a man's world, the woman does have the power, but it is still a man's world. And if you don't know how to use your power as a woman, then you're inferior and you succumb to the fact that it's a man's world and therefore you are unequal.
Can I jump in here with hopefully a moderating take? I think these conversations vary very differently depending on if we're talking about the modern West or if we're talking about on a global scale, right? I think even the concept of feminism, like I have respect for like Middle Eastern feminists, right? Feminism in the Middle, if you're talking about feminism in the Middle East or in certain parts of Africa and India. So on, I'm like, I can respect that, which is one reason actually why when modern, Anglo women are there talking about, we live in a patriarchy, it's like you're in Canada or something. I'm like, just stop. Like just stop. You're just whining, right? What more rights do you want? What more rights can you even get? And what's funny is oftentimes those so-called Western feminists are very quiet when it does come to stuff around the globe, which you could have a legitimate case of saying, okay, look at that. That situation is messed up. That's not fair. That's truly unequal. So I think the global lens is very different to the country that we are living in.
Because I think years ago I would have said that I was a feminist. Now I say I'm a traditionalist.
I would have said that as well. And then when you listen to how they talk, you realize that they're just like in a state of constant hysteria. Like the normal feminist take is to sit around watching feminist blogs kind of report on like some random thing that happened to some woman in Australia, and then the feminist comes up and says that's a sign of how the world is. This woman got killed by a kangaroo in Australia, which means kangaroos hate women and there's a sexist problem in the world.
It was a male kangaroo.
And that's the take, right? One woman dies in Iran, and that's the state of everyone in Iran.
But it's not just one.
That's the world.
That's one you've heard of. That's one you've just heard of today.
Yeah.
One of the cases that managed to come out.
I'll be real, and I say this as someone who grew up in Saudi Arabia for 20 years. There are parts of the world that could do with a healthy dose of I don't even like the term feminism. No. Let's call it egalitarianism.
Yeah.
Right. There are
which is
places,
what she just said, and it's not lazy to say that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a lazy feminist that's trying to hide away from the fact that she's
I'm saying in the West, in the West,
and we're doing okay.
I'm talking about the West. Okay. I'm saying if you're in 2022 blaming the patriarchy for why you cannot succeed as a woman in 2022 in the West, you're lazy.
Agreed.
Okay,
and you're just using it as an excuse.
I would say
because
something.
You're lazy.
For example, in this Western world, and right now, one of the issues that I have with a lot of your viewers, Pearl, no offense, guys, but I'll beef if need be, is the fact that actually there's people saying women shouldn't run societies. Fam, that's the whole point. Don't be making it about man and woman. Make it be about person. Person must be capable. Person must be aware. Person must be responsible. It's not about man and woman. That's what we're trying to get at. Do you get what I mean? It's about the person.
We're there. 80% of people in Europe believe in gender equality. So this idea that there's people who walk around who are telling you to go in the kitchen and make sandwich is nonsense. The fact is, the average person absolutely in Europe and in the West already believes in gender equality. So what are you talking about?
So the existence of this specific podcast and this show, and the reason why there's any interest is because of the fact that those views still exist, and then they're actually growing even more now. And that's why now we're having clashes, because people are starting to misunderstand what a modern woman is. They're starting to misunderstand what the label feminism means. Do you get what I mean? So at this point it's still a man's world. Women now want to say, forget about being a man's world. It's a person's world. It's human's world. We're all in it together. Let's actually stop trying to say I'm better than you and you're worse than this. If I'm better than you or doing something, I'm better than you. Whether I'm a man or woman, forget about that. It's that simple.
Quick one. If a man takes you out, will you expect him to pay?
If a man takes me out, I'll share. I'll be like, you want to split? And if it says,
cap.
I know she's
I believe you. But guess what?
Can we just be honest?
Me finish. Do you know why I do that? I do that because it puts me in a situation to understand where his mind is at.
Exactly.
If you accept me paying, I already know what that says about you.
So
you're like
number 10.
Let me get that.
Girl,
what does it?
Short.
Okay, what does it mean about you? It means that you're either just a logical 50-50 person, It could mean that you're broke, or it could just mean that you're just like
I thought we're doing
impolite.
the equality.
If
So-
you want to charm me,
Okay,
it's not
girl,
about having
okay, I
game.
need you 3
That
sentences
goes
or less.
that goes
Situation.
completely against your feminist ideology and the whole everyone's equal though.
No, that
Yeah.
It
goes.
completely against it.
No,
What are you talking?
that goes down to
No,
being
no,
a good
it's because
seducer.
this is the problem. This is why
Seducer.
people. This
You're
is
not
why.
seducing
This is
anyone,
okay.
bro.
Okay, this is
Yes.
no. This is why I have a platform and I have an audience, and they're not misogynistic. They just don't like that feminists only like equality when it doesn't, or only complain about equality when it doesn't benefit them. And so you enjoy inequality when it benefits you, but when it doesn't, now you're complaining, and that's the whole issue. It's not like a misogyny, like they hate women, they don't think women can be in charge, whatever. It's that feminists are not authentic and they're not honest.
Okay, so
And-
can I sorry to interrupt you, my sister? Let me just explain to you from a different perspective.
3 sentences or less. Please.
If I'm a woman, yeah, that was looking for a masculine man, actually, I would want you to be better at finances than me, because ideally that's not a headache I want to deal with. I want to deal with a home. So if I'm asking you if you're going to pay and you say yes,
Okay.
it's not about equality. It's about whether or not you're going to position yourself in that situation to be better than me, which benefits the partnership. Because one day I'm going to be at home having kids, you should be out there working. It works
not-
better that
okay.
way.
The
You're
thing
not
is,
equal,
it's
though.
not
You're
equality,
different,
is it?
but that doesn't necessarily
That's
mean you're
what
not
the whole
equal.
show is about. Though.
Fair
It's
enough.
about the
You're
fact
different.
that
You're
a lot
different.
of women
But then,
now
Alpha, one
want to be
second,
treated
though.
traditionally.
But you know
They
what?
talk
Yeah, a lot
about
of
equality,
girls, yeah, they want
and
man
they
to
still want
pay
to be
and that.
treated.
Sorry, bro. They want man to pay and that. But if you want to do the traditional thing, you can't pick and choose when to be traditional. You
All
might
the
as you
way.
have to do everything all the way.
Like,
Whether you
okay,
go to
okay.
work, make
If
your
you
own money,
if you want
that's
traditional
fine.
outcomes, are you virgin?
No.
Okay,
I'm not
so that's what
traditional
I'm saying.
either.
I'm saying how can you ask for traditional outcomes like the man to pay when we're not traditional women?
It's not about traditional. What I don't care if it's traditional or not. What I'm
But
saying
traditional is the man
what
paying and being in charge of the finances.
I want to work hard, and I want you to work. I want to work smart. I want you to work harder. So those questions there will mean something. If you're
But that's not
financially
equality.
better than me
That's
and you
not
put yourself,
equality,
but
is it?
that's
It's
not
not
equality.
it's
But that's
not-
what I'm saying. Like feminists only want equality when it
I
benefits
want somebody
them.
that works harder because I work better at being
You
smart.
want to depend on him. That's why.
No,
because
I
you're a
don't.
feminist.
If I work
You're a
smart,
feminist. You want to do this
there's-
better than you so you
no.
can pay for your stuff. And
There's
pay for your
no-
kids.
Bro,
That's why.
You want to
So
pay for
stop
everything.
the cap.
Do you
Stop
think that me-
Hold on. You want to pay
Stop this nonsense right now.
Hold on. You wanted to pay for everything so you can do
No.
online shopping, bro.
No.
Yes, bro.
No,
Can I ask-
I want to be in that moment where I'm testing what you're about. I know that I'm smart. I know that if I bring what I bring to the table is working smart. If you
What do you bring to a guy's relationship? What do you bring to a man?
Do you
Oh
have
my
do you have
God,
femininity,
listen.
purity, and youth?
Huh?
Do you have femininity, purity, and youth?
Femininity, purity, in intentions, and yes, youth. Look
Can
at
I-
me.
You're masculine, bro.
You're
You're
20.
not
I'm
seducing
sorry.
men.
I'm sorry. You're 29. That's not youthful.
It is
That's not-
youthful.
that's
My
not
spirit
youthful.
is
It's
youthful.
not.
That's not
Listen,
youthful.
It's not.
when
You can't be like close to halfway through your life and say I'm youthful.
Can I-
How am I
Phil-
going to
Phil
be 80
Gebb.
years of my
Can I
life?
can I just say
I'm
quickly?
29.
I know
I'm
you say
halfway
you're
through my life.
29.
You could be 18 years old.
To quote somebody that I love,
29.
women age like milk, not like wine. I know you hate to hear
I
that,
don't
but I'm
know
gonna
which women you're talking about, my
I'm gonna give you why. I'm gonna give you why. Listen to me. I
Don't know what milk you're
masturbate
drinking.
so much more than I would have sex. I don't care. This is why I can come to you honestly. Just a quick question, and I know it sounds weird, but let me land as you say. Do you think lions and lionesses have a better relationship than tigers and tigresses? Do you know the difference of those relationships? Because what you're describing is a lioness who's not equal to a lion, right? But what you want and what you're saying you want is to be a tigress who's equal to a tiger. Tigresses and tigers don't act any way close to lions and lionesses. You want that lion in your house, but you also want to be the lion. That's not how that works,
No.
right?
I want a man that fulfills a role that I am not going to fulfill.
That's a lion and
Let me
lionesses
tell you
who are
about the
not
education
equal.
side of things, and let me tell you about
Hold
the
on, let me
equality side of
land.
things.
Let me land.
Okay, land, baby,
let me-
lines.
let me
Apologies.
land.
I'm a tigress anyway, but
Okay,
continue.
but what you just said is opposite.
How
A
so?
lioness is not equal to a male lion. That's just a fact. I'm not going to argue with nobody about it. There's Discovery Channel for you there. Is Wikipedia there? That's equal. A tigress and a tiger are very much so equals. Both 500 pounds, both can bench a ton, both hunt and live on their own. They come together to mate equally, have their own territory, and when they fuck with each other, anybody can get them hands. That's it. It don't matter nobody's stronger than the other. They're quite equal. A lion and a lioness are very different. What you're describing and what you're saying is you want a man to go and do the things that you cannot do. That's a lion. You want to be a lioness, but with all the benefits of also being the lion. That don't work nowhere in the world. And I'm going to just tell you why it don't work. And it's not a disrespect. I'm going to tell you why it don't work. It's unnatural. And I'm not saying that women are not equal to men, because I just said tigresses are equal to tigers. I'm not saying women are not equal to men because a black widow, female, kills the male for food. I'm not saying that that can't be a possibility. What I'm explaining to you is everything that you said that I've been listening to. I ain't talking in like 20 minutes. I went to pee. I sat down to pee because I got bad bladder. Wow. Everything that I've said, everything that you've said, I just listened to you talk. I listened. I didn't interrupt you. I didn't hear nobody else interrupt you. You was going off. You have contradicted yourself about 3 or 4 times. Hold on. And they've tried to tell you that you contradicted yourself. And I'm not saying this in any other way, because you want to be right.
Baby, the problem
I'm not
is
your
that
baby. I'm older
let
than
him
you.
finish.
You
let
want to be right.
Let him finish. Let him
you
finish.
want to be right.
Let
This is
him
what I'm saying.
finish.
This is what I mean. And you say you're single. I know, because you ain't shut the fuck up.
okay.
I can't